Welcome to Full Throttle Vision with Tony and Jersky. Jeremy, how are you today, buddy?
Good. Hungover like
Good.
almost every Wednesday, but I'm good.
I was worried about your phone call last night at 11 o'clock. He's like, it's 40 degrees. We're partying. I got crusty boogers hanging out because it's 40 and it's going to be 30 when I get home. I said, oh, Jesus. Let's see if he's – there we go. Hair of the dog for the morning. I see it. Get a little liquor and you get you moving.
It's juice.
Yeah, my ass, it's juice. So Jersky's checking in from Ohio. You can see he's a little under the weather. Speaking of Ohio, we have an Ohio kid coming on today. Where is Daniel Roby from Urban Rides Magazine? Now, Daniel, I see you're driving. Where are you up to?
What up? I don't know if I'm on yet, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you.
What's going on? I'm just rolling down the road somewhere in, I believe I'm in Tennessee now. Just leaving. I was in the ATL last night picking up a motorcycle. What's going on, guys?
You travel more than probably anybody I know, and I travel a lot. I mean, I even think about how much I move, but you are constantly on the move, going somewhere, doing something. If you don't know who Dan Roby is, Urban Rides Magazine came around in 2019. We were just showing your logo. It said, established 2019, and we became friends real quick at Bike Week. And I love what you were doing, and you kind of get along with everybody. Kind of explain who you are and where y'all came from.
Sure, man. In 2019, all the pretty much all the national magazines, actually the beginning of 19, all the national magazines went out. All the national print magazines, and I got hooked up with a couple of the guys from the magazines, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of cool bikes out there that need to be shown. So started a magazine. Been doing it since 19. We started in our first one was in Sturgis. Sorry, my truck's making weird noises. But yeah, man, we just travel all over the country. We're one of the only national magazines that, literally we are everywhere from Arizona to Sturgis to East Coast, West Coast. We travel everywhere. We do a little show called the Urban Rides All Cycle Showdown, which is a traveling, bike show. We do that. We do about 10
We're going to hit
of
on
those
all
a
your
year.
events you got coming up. I pulled all those off Myrtle Beach and everything like that. Now, you're based in Ohio or Myrtle or both?
Both. Usually I'm in Myrtle. I'm going back to Ohio right now. I've got to get some stuff ready for Daytona, but I usually live in Myrtle in the winter and Ohio in the summer.
You're a snowbird. Look at this guy. So, and I pulled pictures up of you and the bike. You just posted something about how you sold it. And this is the bike that we first met you on. And that picture's right there at the Full Throttle Saloon. That bike was awesome, man. I mean, I remember when you started riding that thing around, and I mean, the audio in that bike was sick. And that was one of my first real introductions to the audio world was when you came around that year. And, I stay out of that audio bike competition world, and I think you're very heavily into it, which is why we have a good relationship because I'm into bike shows and Jersky's into bike shows, and then you're really into this audio stuff. Let's talk a little bit about that while he scrolls through these pictures of your bike, which is awesome.
Sure.
There's dragons and lions on it, by the way. Just making sure everybody knows dragons and lions.
It was called Inked. That motorcycle was one of the reasons I started the magazine because, like all the bikes I built before, were all in magazines, all got in cool magazines, and I built that bike, and that was my pinnacle bike right there. That was the nicest bike I've ever built, and all the magazines are out, so that's why that's one of the reasons we did that. But that bike, the funny thing about that was a 6-speaker heavyweight bike back then because it had drop rails and 12s in it. I had two 12-inch subs in it, and that bike bike's a middleweight bike now. That bike was in like the extreme classes then because of the 12-inch
a middleweight at best, right? Yeah, that's a middleweight just barely. So nowadays,
well, if it had 10s in it, it'd be a lightweight. It's the audio game is to give you an example, the bike I just went and picked up it's my audio bike. It's got two 12s and it's got 10 8s in it, and it runs just under 20,000 watts. but that bike is it's only a welterweight in SOS and a middleweight in most other platforms. So just the comparison of how much it's changed now.
The industry
and that's
has
just in like
changed with this
4 or 5
audio.
years.
Just so big. I
Oh,
mean, and some things that were monsters, 3 years ago are barely making it in the normal competitions. Jeremy, tell us, you judge a lot of bike shows. Talk to us about your feelings on this audio world that's coming in, because we go to Daytona and we judge a million shows. What do you think about the audio bikes compared to the bike shows themselves?
Well, you got guys like him right here that got an audio bike, but it's a nice looking bike too. And I know, Roby, you've seen some pretty raggedy sons of bitches with some pretty killer audio, but the bike's not real nice. You agree?
Oh, yes, there are definitely some out there like that, for sure.
I mean,
Wooden
because you
boxes
got to
on the
think they're
back
they're
and shit,
running.
wooden boxes with screws hanging out the bottom and shit, spray painted caulk and shit all over the place, But the audio's killer. But something like you got, it's a clean piece, it's a nice bike. You can put it in a show and it's audio, you know what I'm saying? It's clean. It meets all the, criteria.
Yeah. Well, and some of the bikes that you'll hear a lot, people are like, oh, the rolling boom boxes. Some of the bikes are giant, especially the extreme bikes, which are, the extreme bikes now are not really, they can move in and out of the ring on their own power. You can ride them in and out of the ring, but that's about the extent of it. You wouldn't want to go over, usually 25 miles an hour with the bikes because they are so giant.
I remember
But
Jason Leese's
with that,
bike. That thing, there
sure,
was maybe a half inch of travel under those bags when he was moving around, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that thing was just, it
It's
barely got up off
tsunami.
its nuts to get. Yes, it was a tsunami. Good call. That thing was a
yeah, it was
monster, but it couldn't
tsunami.
go down the road.
Well, it took him from going to the Beaver Bar to downtown Sturgis, which is, I think, 3.5 miles, 4 miles. It took him a half hour to get there. He couldn't go. Well, but with that being said, the bikes really, truly, the extreme bikes are truly unrideable bikes. But they're purpose-built vehicles, because there's a lot of people that complain about that. But you also don't see a top fuel dragster going to the grocery store, So that's what I kind of tell people.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, they're purpose built. There you go. But they are amazing. And this year is going to be the year of extreme bikes. Scott Owens just released a set of bags called the Snookies, which are over 8 cubic feet of air. So there's
Yeah,
there's
backyard.
like
If you want to
6
see
of
that,
those out
backyard
there now.
baggers just posted. He just posted pictures of that.
Yes.
It's bigger than he is. The bags are larger than him standing next to it. Jersey, you got to go look it up. Backyard baggers. The box it comes in is got to be 10 foot
Oh, it's
tall,
huge.
and they're standing up tall. So when he takes the sides off, I was like, oh my God, you could climb. It's like a coffin. One of those bags is like a body coffin. I'm like, what in the
Sure.
hell?
Well, to give you the bags on my middleweight bike are big bags. They are considered really big bags, and they are 2.2 cubic feet, and those are 8, so almost 4 of my
Holy
bags.
crap.
Yes, but I mean
Holy crap.
there's a lot of them that have been shipped out, and there's some bikes out there that are doing even bigger than that. I've heard stories.